3 Golden Eagles for War Thunder. Link in the description. Hello you sexy beasts, welcome back to War Thunder. This is a little replay I've had of the T-29 American Heavy Tier 4 Premium Tank. Now, I've already did a video on this tank before, a review, so you can watch that over on this annotation that's on the screen right now. This video is not going to be about the T-29. Instead, we are going to talk about how to perform close air support and how it can affect the game. As well as, well, mention some things on the T-29 that I did not mention before. Now, first and foremost, I want to apologize for this being a replay file. I know that a lot of you guys don't like the replay files, and I can understand why. This is not exactly the perfect representation of what happens in the game, but it's all that I could do right now. Sadly, as I am still in the exam season, I just don't really have the patience to actively record gameplay. And since I already did a video on the T-29, I wasn't really expecting to even get a gameplay or video out of this. Pretty much what I've been doing since, well, I am back to my normal account is now using the T-29 to grind out the American tech tree. I have already unlocked all of the Sherman variants, including the 75s and the 76mm variants. I've already aced all the 75mm Shermans, and as such, once I am finally in summer vacation, I can do a comparison video on those tanks, much like I did with the Panther series. Now, another thing that I want to try in this video is somehow alter my commentating style. Now, I've read a lot of comments of people asking me to talk a little bit slower during my commentaries, because I do have the tendency to talk a little bit too fast. I think faster than I actually talk, so I try to compensate for that with talking even faster, but my tongue just can't really keep up with that, and I tend to slur my words a lot. So we're going to try to take a step back, keep it slow, be very sensual with the microphone, and just try to make it a little bit more comprehensible for you guys. Now, the T-29 is a excellent 6.7 battle rating tank. I've seen a lot of people asking me in the comment section if they should go for this or the M46 Tiger, which is another 6.7 premium tank. And most of the time I do recommend this thing, just because it is, in the right hands, quite an amazing tank. Now, it is however not overpowered. This thing gets a 105mm cannon, which now has access to APHE shells. It's an earlier version of the cannon that's featured on tanks like the T-95 and the T-28. So it suffers from the same kind of long reload problems, but with an ace crew, which I do have on this tank, and with the APHE shell, this gun is very effective. Now, you will still have trouble penetrating King Tigers at range. The upper glacis of the hull of the King Tiger is pretty much still impenetrable by you. The turret front you can penetrate, but especially at ranges, the turret front of stuff like the King Tiger Henschel version is quite a small target. So more often than not, I actually either hit the gun or just fail miserably, which is actually what happened more or less in this gameplay, where I'm facing off against a Panther A, if I'm not mistaken, and I just bounced a shot off the side of his turret. Now, another big thing that people underestimate on this tank is that it gets 3 50 caliber machine guns. Yes, you heard it right. You get 2 mounted coaxially, which you can use to, well, spot and kill targets, and 1 mounted on top, which is amazing to deal with lightly armored targets like those ZSU-37s. Sadly, the Panther does take me out through the side armor, which is rather weak and has a very well deserved kill. So now we are finally on the main part of this video. We are going to take out the AD-2. Now the AD-2 is a 6.0 ground attacker, so to speak. This thing features 2, if I'm not mistaken, 20mm cannons, as well as a lot of ordnance. In my current configuration, I'm carrying 12 HVAR rockets, 2 Tiny Tim rockets, and a single 2,000-pound bomb. Now, this mix of ordnance is quite good. Having a mix between rockets and bombs allows you to be a bit more versatile, and that's definitely what this thing is. This thing is very, very versatile. Now, sadly, being in the attacker role, you do not actually get a target reticule when dropping your bomb, so it's all down to experience and your gut feel on how you can employ those bombs. Now, one very easy tactic to drop your bombs more accurately is to climb at the start of the match and then dive bomb. Even though this isn't a dive bomber, you do get air brakes, you do get flaps, so you can pull out of those dives, and the more vertical you are in your dive, the more accurate your bomb drop is going to be, as you don't have to compensate for your forward speed. Now, the bomb I have carrying on this thing is on a 2-second assault fuse. Or assault fuse, well, fuse delay, simply because it is quite a large bomb, which sends out a lot of shrapnel. Now, in the latest patch, this has been somewhat, well, not completely fixed, but at least reduced. Up until the last patch, the bombs seem to do more damage to your own aircraft than actually to enemy tanks. And as such, more often than not, you would find yourself dropping a bomb 3 meters in front of a tank, not doing anything, not even taking out the tracks of that tank, and instead getting blown up yourself just because you were flying above it. So this is why I have a 2-second delay on these bombs, just to give me a little bit of time to fly away and get out of the explosion radius. Now, as a close air support aircraft, you have a couple of duties to fulfill. On the right you can see a friendly T-29, which is about to be flanked by a Panther. Now, this Panther has no idea where I'm coming from. I drop a bomb in his path and blow his turret clean off, which saves the flank of my T-29. Now, that T-29 you are going to see a lot of, because I'm pretty much going to be his personal close air support in the next couple of minutes. In front of him is what seems to be a Panther A. He is dead as well. I fire my cannons to make sure that he's dead, and as he blows up, it confirms that he is dead. But there has been an IS-2 that just spawned, and my T-29 teammate does not seem to be aware of the position of that tank. Now, as I said before, the T-29 is an excellent tank from the front. Not so much from the sides. An IS-2 from the side can definitely blow it up in one shot. So it is your duty as a close air support aircraft to save the flanks of your teammates. And here's something that you have to notice. Now, the AD-2 is an excellent ground attacker, but it is a rather slow target, it is rather big, and as such it is a very easy target. Now, in this match I do have the advantage of not having any enemy aircraft in the air, which could be harassing me, but at the same time I have to watch out for anti-aircraft fire from the ground. Those things can rip you up very, very easily. And this is where the rockets come in. Now, the AD-2, having the mix between a bomb and the rockets, has the advantage of being able to engage any targets. The bombs are very well used against slow heavy tanks such as Tigers, King Tigers, or even a Panther A that decided to just drive forward without looking where he was going. Whereas the rockets are very good to take out lightly armored targets like anti-aircraft vehicles or open-top vehicles, which cannot withstand the shrapnel all that well. Now at this point I have dropped all of my single bomb, all of my rockets. I'm now down to 2 Tiny Tim rockets, and an AR-234 has just killed my T-29 teammate, which means that that flank is now completely open. Earlier on I saved my teammate that was up on the hill that you can see right there on the left side. There was a tiger climbing up to him, and I took that one down as well. As an aircraft in realistic tank mode, you are pretty much the best tool that your team has in terms of support. Now, of course, it's all nice and dandy to just go for kills and try to get as many kills as you can, but it's not all, as that Tiger just takes 2 Tiny Tim rockets perfectly to the side of the tank. Oh, that was beautiful. As an attack aircraft, you have a duty towards your team to, 1, keep an eye out, because you have the bird's eye view, so you have the advantage of knowing where the enemy is and where they are going to, which is something that your teammates on the ground don't always have the luxury of doing. And using your cannons, you can spot those tanks for your friendlies. Something that I always do is target prioritization. Now, As I said before, rockets are very good for anti-aircraft vehicles, bombs are very good for heavy tanks. And you should always keep a list of targets that you want to take out first. Take for example the situation earlier with a Panther flanking our friendly T-29. There was not a tank up ahead that I could have easily taken out. There was actually a heavy tank, I think it was an IS-2, that I could have easily taken out with the bombs. But that would have put my teammate in danger of being flanked by the Panther. So, here's the list of what you have to take out first, from top to bottom. First, and this is very important, always go for the tanks that are on the flanks of your teammates. That is how you win the games, that is how you keep your teammates alive, and that is how you, well, support your team into winning. After that is when you worry about the heavy tanks. That's when you worry about the heavy tanks. Now, heavy tanks and heavy tank destroyers like the Jagdtiger are vehicles that are not very easily taken out from the front. But, given that you have rockets, given that you have bombs, it is easier for you to take them out. And as such, you can do your team a big favor by opening up a flank, by destroying those heavy tanks and allowing the rest of your team to advance forward and create flanking fire themselves. Your role as a pilot in tank realistic battle is a very strategic one. You have to always keep an eye out on the battlefield, always keep an eye on the map, always keep an eye out on the enemy positions, and try to use your judgment to see where your bombs and your rockets are deployed more effectively. And as such, we have won the game. 10 kills in 10 minutes. 5 with the T-29, 5 with the AD-2, which I do have a talisman on as well to currently aid me in the research of jet aircraft. Now, as you can see, it is easy. Well, depends. You have to be a good tanker. You have to know the strengths and weaknesses of your tank, of your aircraft, but as you can see, once you do, the T-29 is an excellent tank. I've said that before in the review, and the AD-2 is pretty much the perfect combination for use with that tank. Now guys, hopefully you have enjoyed this video. I know it was kind of a short one, I really don't have much time at the moment, but hopefully in about 1 week or two I will finally be able to do more videos more regularly. Up until then, you can always watch the older videos I have, as I said before, to go watch the T-29 review if you don't have seen it yet. English is very hard. And by the way, leave me some feedback in the comments as to how you like this new commentating style. Is it too slow? Is it still too fast? Did you understand what I said this time around? Let me know in the comment section down below. Alright guys, like this video if you did, subscribe if you're new around here, and as always, my name's been MikeGoesBoom. Thanks for watching!
You can lift your head up to the sky, take a deeper breath and give it time. You can walk the path along the lines, with your shattered frame of mind. Or instead you could always stay, we can wait right here and play, until somehow you can find a